Hey guys, so today I have a really fun class for you and it's all about the hips. So this is super important for us to focus on these days because as our generation we are sitting a lot of the time, and you'll notice some days that you can wake up, you can go eat breakfast in a chair, get to your car or the transport that you take to work, you're sitting, and then you get to work and you sit 8 hours and then come home and you Netflix, so you're sitting. So think about the pressure that we're putting on our hips, and we want to open them up and strengthen them and make them feel amazing. So today we will start in tabletop position and let's have some fun. So come to tabletop here, shoulders directly over the wrists, hips over the knees. Your chest isn't sinking here, you're strong in this tabletop. Imagine a line directly from your tailbone all the way to the tip of your head. Your belly button is tucking in towards your spine. And just take one breath here, finding yourself on the mat. Taking a moment of gratitude for yourself for turning up today and giving some relief to your hips. Inhale and exhale. Let's just warm up the hips here. Just bring your right knee off the mat and just start to make some circles. You can make it in one direction. Remember to breathe here. Maybe your circles are really big, maybe you're making small ones. Whatever feels good for you today, that's what you do. Reverse your direction. Don't worry if there's any clicks here, that's very normal. Inhale. And exhale your knee back down to the mat. And let's go to the other side. So left knee off the mat. And just make some circles. Maybe flex and point your foot, whatever feels good for you. Maybe big circles, maybe small. And switch directions, inhale. Maybe this side feels completely different to the other side. Again, don't worry, that's normal. And bring your left knee back into the mat. Now I'll come this way to show you here. We'll take a little stretch, so you're in your tabletop position. Bring your right leg out to the side. Try and get your right foot flat on the mat. And maybe come down to your forearms, whatever feels good for you. Up here is also perfectly fine. Just feel the stretch all the way in the inside of the leg, up to the right hip. Stay here. Inhale. And exhale. Maybe you can walk your hands out a little bit further and drop your head on the mat. And feel the stretch along your back also. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Lift your head and slowly walk your hands back to meet you if you're all the way down like me. And come up. Bring your torso up. So now we'll just take a quick side stretch. So drop your right hand on your right leg and just take a stretch over your right leg. Make sure your chest is open, your gaze is up to your left hand. And take a few breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And maybe as you exhale, fall a little bit deeper. And then one more inhale. And exhale, come back up. Feel the difference on both of your sides. Maybe rub your shoulders one time one way, and then the other way. And then come back to tabletop. So come back to tabletop here, and then bring the left leg out. Same thing on the other side. See how this one feels. Maybe it's a bit tighter than the other one. That's okay. If you went down on the other one, see if you can also come down here into your forearms. Make sure there's no tension in your neck, so gaze down to the floor if you can. And breathe. Inhale, feeling that really great stretch all the way from your left hip, inner hip, all the way down the leg. It feels awesome. Inhale. And exhale. Maybe walk your hands out a little bit further. Get the stretch in your back. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale, lift your head and slowly walk your hands back up to meet the body. And then bring the torso off the mat again. This time we're taking the stretch over to the left. So stretching the right side of the body and just breathe breathe here, inhale. And exhale. See if one side feels a little bit tighter than the other. And just notice that. Maybe you can take care into this, into each day, noticing that you do equal, you balance out your actions on both sides of your body. And exhale. And then come back up to center. Find your way back to tabletop. Tuck your toes under, and let's push back to downward facing dog. Head light the feet here, you know the drill. Do whatever feels good for you. Make sure there's no tension in the neck. Shake your head from one side to the other, up and down. Drop your shoulders from your ears, push your tailbone into the sky. Maybe bend your knees generously, whatever feels good for you. Make sure all 10 fingers are pushing into the mat. And find your downward dog today. Maybe it's different from yesterday, but that's totally okay. Our bodies are meant to be completely different each day depending on what's going on, how you feel, what you've done the day before, how you slept. It's perfectly fine. That's why we do yoga, to take out the needs and get back to our best self, shall we say. One more breath here, inhale. And exhale, bring your right foot behind your left ankle. Bend your left knee generously. Root the right foot on the mat and feel the stretch in the right hip here. Look under your armpit on the right side. Beautiful, I know. And just breathe here, inhale. And exhale, come back to center and swap sides. So left foot behind right leg. Bending the right knee generously and looking under the left armpit. Feeling the stretch along the left hip. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale, come back to center. And then lift your right leg off the mat, making a line with your left ankle, your right ankle in the air. It's the morning, sorry. And then bend your right knee and open up your hip here. You can flex and point the toes. And maybe make some circles with the right knee in the air. I say circles, you can make whatever you want, little love hearts, however you're feeling today. Make them in both directions. They can be big circles or just little small ones, whatever feels good for you. Don't worry if you hear any clicks, that's okay, it's quite normal with your hips. One more breath here, inhale. And exhale. And then slowly come back to center, squaring off your hips to the mat. Bend your right knee and bring it towards your nose. Always going to be strengthening the core. Straighten your leg out and now bring your right knee to your right elbow. And then straighten your right leg and then just bring your right foot in between your two hands at the top of the mat into a low lunge. Now again, find the low lunge that feels good for you. This can be on your fingertips. Maybe if you have any wrist pain, come onto your fists, that supports your wrists. Or flat palms. Just make sure your chest is open, your gaze is down and forward, no strain in the neck. Your left heel is pointing towards the back of the mat. And you can start to feel the stretch in your left psoas. That's just in front of the left hip. Inhale. And exhale, drop the left knee. And you can keep the toes tucked under if it feels good for you to support the knee. Otherwise, flatten the left foot. You can also put a blanket under your knees if it hurts at any time. Find here. And then inhale, lift your arms up. And maybe bring the palms together and gaze up. Feeling the stretch along the left hip. Inhale here. And exhale. And don't completely collapse. Remember to keep a little bit of strength so your pelvis is tucked under, your sacrum is strong, and it's as if everything is coming from the core. So you stay straight, you don't just fall into it. So then activate here, arms up, and just take a few more breaths here. Inhale, and exhale. One more inhale, and exhale. And now inhale, straighten out your right leg, flex your foot, And then we're going to stretch over here, feeling the stretch along this entire leg all the way up to the glutes. So inhale, lengthen your spine, look forward. Exhale, fold over the right leg. Keeping the foot flexed is a great way to make sure you're getting a deeper stretch, and also making sure that you can grab the foot and maybe bring it towards you a little bit, feeling how deep that stretch goes along the glutes. Inhale and exhale. One last inhale and exhale. Come back forward, hands next to your right foot, tuck your left toes under and push back into downward facing dog. Good job. Inhale here and exhale, drop your knees, come into tabletop position. And let's just take some cat-cows to warm up the spine. So inhale, drop your belly, arch your chest, look up. And exhale, look towards your belly button. Come into cat. Inhale, drop your belly, arch your chest and look up. Exhale, push into all 10 fingers and come into cat. And then come back to a neutral tabletop position. Take your knees to the outside of your mat, your toes are touching. Push back into a deep child's pose. This is great for stretching out the hips here. Your hands are active, your arms are active. You feel the stretch along your shoulders, your entire back, and your hips opening. Inhale here, and exhale. One more inhale, and exhale. Push back up to tabletop position. Tuck your toes under, and let's do the other side. So inhale, come back to downward facing dog, and then bring your left leg up into the air. And you can bend your left knee, open your hip, flex and point the toe. Maybe make some circles with this hip in one direction, and then the other. Whatever you did on the other side, see if it feels different on this side. That's totally normal, that's okay. And then slowly square your hips off back to the mat. Shoulders are square and parallel to the mat. Bend the left knee and bring it towards your nose. Straighten your leg. And then left knee to left elbow. Straighten your leg. And then shoot your left foot in between your two hands at the top of the mat. And come into a high lunge, low lunge here. Kicking your right ankle towards the back of the mat, either on your fists, on your fingertips, or your palms, whatever feels good for you. Chest open, feeling the stretch along the right psoas. Gaze down, no tension in the neck. And breathe here, inhale. Maybe rock a little bit forward and back, seeing if you're holding any tension anywhere. And then slowly exhale, drop your right knee. Again, either keep the toe tucked under or flat on the mat. Activate your core and your sacrum. And then slowly lift your chest up off your knee. You can bring the palms to touch. Gaze up. Make sure there's no tension in your shoulders again. Drop your shoulders. Chest is open. And just breathe here, feeling this deep stretch along the right front hip. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, make sure your pelvis and sacrum is activated, tucked in. One more inhale. And exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Straighten out the left leg, flex the left foot. And then inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold over your right leg. Left leg, sorry. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale, go a little bit deeper. And then inhale, come back to your low lunge position. Plant your hands on the mat. And push back to downward facing dog. Pedal out here. Seeing how that feels already. Maybe you feel a little bit more open. That's great. And then drop your knees on the mat. Cross your ankles, and then find your seated position. So bring your feet together, the soles of your feet together, And then you're going to want to open your feet out like a little book here. Sometimes people like to take a little self-massage here if you want, if it feels good for you. Your feet take a lot of pain for you all day, so it's nice to just give them some love when you have your socks and shoes off. It's nice. But we're here for a different purpose. So your soles of your feet are facing towards you. Lengthen your spine, look up. And then exhale, bring your elbows pushing on your legs, and this pushes your hips open. So keep your spine long. And then push down a little bit more. Use your elbows as a nice way to be able to push your knees down a little bit. Spine long. Exhale. Feeling the stretch in the inside of your hips here. That might have been all tight from sitting or whatever you may be doing. Just showing them some love. Inhale. And then exhale. You can curve your spine then and just fall over your legs. We'll take a few deep breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale, walk your hands up to meet your torso. And then straighten out your legs here. Now again, make sure your spine is long and straight, so you can do this by bringing your hands behind you, chest is open, gaze up. And then slowly walk your hands out in front of you, wherever is good for you today. Inhale. And exhale. Remember to keep your feet flexed and both legs active, so your knees are not coming off. Although if it's comfortable for you, you can also bend a little bit here and come forward. You'll feel the exact same stretch in the front of your hips. So inhale and exhale. One more inhale and exhale. Slowly inhale and bring your hands up to meet your torso. Bring your left hand to the left foot and then just bring the right arm over. Having a side stretch here and feeling a stretch all the way to your right hip. Inhale and exhale. Chest is open, gaze is up if it's comfortable for your neck. If not, simply just look down at the floor. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, come back to center and simply swap sides. So drop the right hand down, left arm straight, and just breathe here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale and exhale. Then slowly inhale back to center. Bring your legs together, and this time we're going to bring our knees on top of each other. So this is a really intense stretch, so don't worry if you're like this. The aim is to have your legs out straight, feet flexed, and both knees directly on top of each other. And as you can tell, I'm not able to do that, so I'm around about here today, and that is okay. So your feet are flexed, your knees are somewhat on top of each other, spine is long, and then bring your arms to the side, and then you're going to want to bend both arms, and then I can show you here. Try and clasp here, grab your hands, okay? So swing back round, so arms here, bend the right on top, left under, gaze up, and then just slowly, if you feel comfortable, if it feels good for you, just with a straight spine, fold forward. You can feel this kind of like intense stretch in both sides of the hips, hopefully. Maybe if it's more comfortable for you, simply put your arms down, make sure your spine is long, you're not collapsing over your legs. Right now we're reaching, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Sometimes in these hip opening poses you'll get a lot of times some really intense emotion that comes up, so don't worry if you feel like resisting. If you're like, I gotta get out of this, stay, try and stay, unless it's super hurting, then get out. But yeah, try and stay, it's very good for you, it relieves a lot of tension and stress. Inhale And exhale, come in, breathe out the mouth. And then slowly inhale, walk your hands back up to meet the torso. Maybe shake your legs out a little bit, it feels quite intense all around here. Now swap sides. So, left knee above the right knee or wherever it feels comfortable. Feet are flexed. Yeah, this side's completely different for me, so don't worry here. Gaze up, bring your hands out, and this time left on top, right on bottom. Also, don't worry about your shoulders. This side for me is so difficult to be able to touch my hands, so don't worry if you can't get it. Maybe grab your t-shirt or something and just hold the same position. It's stretching a nice stretch in the triceps and opening up the shoulders. Gaze up, straight spine, and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, and exhale. Use the inhales to give you more energy and lift, and then exhales to fold forward into the pose. Inhale, and exhale. Maybe release your hands, you can have them out in front of you. Sometimes I like to move also in these poses just to see where the tension is and go there. Gaze down, inhale, and exhale. You can also close your eyes if that feels good for you. Maybe it makes it a little bit more intense. Inhale, and exhale. And slowly inhale, walk your hands back up to meet your torso. Hello. And then bring your legs out in front of you and just shake them out. You can also bend your knees, just kind of windshield wiper them from one side to the other, releasing any tension. Feeling the benefits, feeling the stretch that you've had already in your hips. And slowly come back to center and come into an easy seated position. And close your eyes. So you can rest your hands on your knees. Your spine can be long, or now you can also just be. Take a few breaths here. And see if you feel any different from how you felt at the beginning of the class. Maybe more calm. Maybe your hips feel awesome. Maybe they feel weird. It's the first time you've done this, so maybe you're like, what's going on down there? Just see how it feels tomorrow, for the rest of the day, when you sit down later. Maybe you feel super emotional, you've opened up all of this emotion over the past while. That's also okay. Just explore that in whatever way feels good for you. On the next inhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. And then bow towards yourself, so drop your chin to your chest. And just have a moment of gratitude for yourself, for giving your hips some love today, for turning up to the mat, and for turning up to yourself, or for yourself. Then inhale, lift your chin. And thank you for joining this class today. I hope you had fun. Hips are something that we don't normally discuss in normal fitness and Western fitness, but in yoga it's super important, and I hope that you feel good, and see you next time. Thanks.